Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a dowsing rod session where I will be asking questions that you guys have submitted. So if you guys have questions you want me to ask in this session, if you could submit them via the Google form that's linked in the description box, that would help me immensely. My backlog right now is about 18,000 questions, and so I just can't go through all the comment sections to gather all of those. There's just way too many. So thank you for helping me out that way. Other things, let's see, the future is not set in stone. Free will exists and you can absolutely change the future. You can quit your job, you can buy a plant, you can move across the country, you can go on vacation. All of those things can change your future, so please take future predictions with a grain of salt. Other things, I am not a medical professional. Please do not take this as medical advice. Please consult with your doctor before making any medical decisions, and in this case it's for entertainment purposes only. And similarly in that regard, please don't take everything that the rods say as absolute truth. There's absolutely context missing within these questions, so it could be that perhaps there's more of a situation beyond what the immediate answer is, even if the immediate answer makes sense in the context of the question. So that was a lot of words for not saying a lot, but I think you guys understand what I mean. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And otherwise, I also have YouTube memberships available. So if you guys want to get these videos earlier than the rest of the public, I usually drop them on Sundays before the rest of the public gets them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you guys want to see those early, there's a membership you can join to get access to those early. I think I just saw an orb come through on my camera. That was very exciting. And in the spirit of trying something a little bit different, today's theme is going to be around animals. So I have a whole bunch of questions that you guys have asked all about animals, and we'll see what comes through. So yeah, with that, let's get started and figure out who we're talking to. Actually, well, we'll see who we're talking to first. If you're with me and willing to answer some questions, could you cross the rods for yes? Thank you. Could you open wide for no? Thank you. Could you point to the direction of your energy? Thank you. Is this a entity that I've worked with before? No, thank you. So I went and Googled a bunch of the animal gods before this session because I think we're gonna have an animal god come through. So I'm just gonna go through the list. Are we talking with Artemis? No, thank you. Are we talking with Cernunnos? I think that's how you say it, the Celtic god? Oh, interesting, thank you. I'm just gonna go through the rest of the list just to make sure. Are we talking with Sylvanus? No, thank you. How about Solomon? No, thank you. How about Arignani? No, thank you. Okay, so the Cernunnos. Is that right? Okay, Celtic god with animals. So if you guys wanted to Google that, please forgive my pronunciation. Did I pronounce that right? No, thank you. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Let's get into the questions. Do the animals that you keep in life choose you? Yes, thank you. Are cats dragons in another dimension? Yes, thank you. Is it true that we share a spiritual connection with snakes? Yes, thank you. Are nagas or snakes that can turn into humans, do they actually exist in the physical? Yes, thank you. Have I met one before? No, thank you. Are they common? No, thank you. Do they only exist in maybe a certain part of the world? Yes, thank you. Is that part of the world Australia? No, thank you. Okay. Are human souls and animal souls the same? Yes, thank you. Do skunks dislike being stinky? No, thank you. Do skunks like being stinky? Yes, thank you. Can humans reincarnate as animals? Yes, thank you. Do stuffed animals have feelings? Yes, thank you. Does the Kura, the spirit that protects jungles, animals, and forests and faunas, is that a real entity? Yes, thank you. Do animals raised for slaughter consciously incarnate to offer themselves as food to humans? Yes, thank you. Are elephants healing animals? Yes, thank you. Do all animals go to heaven when they die? Yes, thank you. Are there aliens in the forms of animals in our world? Yes, thank you. Have I met one of those before? No, thank you. Interesting. Can your soulmate be an animal? Yes, thank you. And just to reconfirm, soulmate doesn't necessarily imply romance, is that correct? Yes, thank you. Is it, or is an overwhelming love towards animals a sign of ascension? Going with kind of a slow note. Do you know the answer to that question? No, thank you. Do we reunite with our animals after death? Yes, thank you. Can animals see spirits? Yes, thank you. Do you play with a lot of animals here on Earth? Yes, thank you. Do animals know what we are saying? Yes, thank you. Does Antarctica have live prehistoric animals hidden there? No, thank you. Does the fear, pain, and distress that an animal feels get translated to the person who eats their body? Yes, thank you. Is an animal-based diet optimal for humans? No answer. Do you know the answer to that question? No, thank you. Can animals understand our spoken words? Yes, thank you. I think we asked that one. If you are a witch, or are you a witch if you attract animals? No answer. Can you be a witch if you attract animals? Yes, thank you. Do animals have soul contracts? Yes, thank you. Do horses like to be trained and ridden? No answer. Do some horses like to be trained and ridden? Yes, thank you. Is this more of an individual preference? Yes, thank you. Do animals choose their owners? Yes, thank you. Do chickens get tired of hearing about why they crossed the road? Yes, sort of. Do most chickens care? No, thank you. Can animals read our minds or energy? Yes, thank you. Are Hindu gods really riding those animals as described in the Hindu mythology books? Yes, thank you. Will there be less animal cruelty in the near future? No, thank you. Are dinosaurs and other extinct animals still kept alive in intergalactic zoos? No, thank you. Do animals like to live in zoos or sanctuaries? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Do all animals like that? No. Do most animals that live there like it? Yes, thank you. Are animals attracted to high frequency people? Yes, thank you. Are there islands that are not publicly known that have extinct animals on them? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Um, does a fish feel pain the way that an animal does? No, thank you. Are animals able to sense when humans are on drugs? Yes, thank you. Do our loved ones who have passed on come to check on us in the form of butterflies, birds, and other animals? Yes, thank you. Does caring for animals and plants raise our vibrations? Yes, thank you. Does touching an animal heal your energy? Yes, thank you. Are rodeos a form of animal abuse? That's a slow no. Do some rodeos abuse animals? Yes, thank you, but not all of them generally. Is that accurate? Yes, thank you. Do animals have a deep understanding of life? Yes, thank you. Is animal sacrifice bad for your soul? No answer. Does it depend on what the sacrifice is made for? Yes, thank you. Do animals take on negative energy from humans? No answer. Is this kind of the same as like a human picking up another or a bad mood from somebody else? Yeah. Or a good mood. So if you have a good mood and you smile at somebody and they smile back? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Um, are animal souls given the same processes as human souls when they ascend? Yes. Thank you. Can dowsing rods be used to find lost pets? Yes. Thank you. Was Noah's Ark a boat full of DNA instead of animals? No, thank you. Did Noah's Ark carry DNA in addition to animals? Yes, thank you. Did the people of Atlantis do research with mixing genes of animals and human beings? Yes, thank you. Can animals be evil or have bad intentions? Yes, thank you. Does manifestation work for animals? Go with a yes for that one. Interesting. Um, can an axolotl really grow lungs? Yes, thank you. Are all animals sentient? Yes, thank you. Does everyone have a spirit animal? No, thank you. Um, can you have a spirit animal if you'd like one? Yes, thank you. Do some humans just not care much for animals and don't want one? Yes, thank you. Is there any benefit to finding out what your spirit animal is? Yes, thank you. Is my spirit animal a dog? No, interesting. Is my spirit animal a cat? Yes, thank you. Interesting. That surprises me because I have a dog and I'm very allergic to cats, so fascinating. Are animals some kind of spirit guides? Yes, thank you. Uh, are animals also repelled by the manifestor aura? No, thank you. Did Korea make a human animal hybrid monster? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Do animal souls have free will? Yes, thank you. Do animals think in their heads the way us humans do using inner dialogue? Yes, thank you. Can a pet be in our soul family? Yes, thank you. Do animals have their own animal-based soul families? Yes, thank you. Does it have to be strictly animals within that soul family? No, thank you. Does God take care of animals who are killed on the road? Yes, thank you. Can we learn to speak to animals telepathically? Yes, thank you. Are immortal jellyfish actually immortal? Yes, thank you. Can wild animals and people coexist without harming each other? Yes, thank you. When street animals are being killed by the government, is it in their soul's will? Yes, thank you. Do animal souls know how they'll die? No, thank you. Do their souls also have a soul agreement for that? Yes, thank you. Are domesticated animals ticklish? Yes, thank you. Can any animal be ticklish? Yes, thank you. Do animals have third eyes? Yes, thank you. Is it possible for an animal to answer questions with the rods? Yes, thank you. Can the spirit of a pet that has passed use the rods to communicate? Yes, thank you. Do animals understand human language as we humans do? Yes and no. Do they understand our language, right? Yes, thank you. But they process the language differently? No. Interesting. I don't know why that's a yes no answer. Um, let's see. Do bees accurately predict the weather seasons ahead of time? Yes, thank you. Can animals help us with spiritual practices if we ask? Yes, but kind of a slow yes. Is that up to the will of the animal? Yes, thank you. Did animals come from another planet? No, thank you. Does Puxatawny Phil actually predict whether the winter weather is over? No, thank you. Does Puxatawny Phil actually look for his shadow? No answer. Does Puxatawny Phil care? No, thank you. Um, is Puxatawny Phil going to accurately predict if winter is over this February? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Do eels reproduce like fish do? No, interesting. Thank you. Do barn owls actually get divorced? Yes, thank you. Do African buffaloes vote to decide where the herd goes? Yes, thank you. Are rats out to get humans? No, thank you. Alrighty, that is all the time that I have, or all the questions I have time for, and all the questions I've written down. So if you guys have more questions, please feel free to submit them to the question box in the description. Otherwise, thank you guys for being here, and I'll catch you next time.